Indiana went into the Rose Bowl, their first ever Rose Bowl, the first ever time playing Alabama, and they took that trophy and they left Bama in shambles. 38-3 is the final score. Everybody kept really waiting for Bama for something to happen, right? Indiana jumped out to a 17-0 lead, and they just never looked back. They held that going into the fourth quarter. They came back out, made it 24-0. Bama kicked a field goal, which was super weird. I don't know why you're down there and then Kalen DeBoer, we're down 24 points and they say, hey, let's kick a field goal so it's not a shutout. Go for it. Give you guys something to. I think that really showed that, hey, we're waving the white flag here at that point to his guys.
Yeah.
What does Indiana do? They get the ball, they turn around, they go on a 6-play 75-yard drive, and they just and it was really demoralizing because there was a big run in that. Go up 31-3, and then they take the ball back and they score again. Fernando Mendoza, he had a fine day for him. He was super accurate, Heisman Trophy winner, 14 of 16, 192 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. They ran the ball 50 times for
Jeez Louise.
202, yeah, 50 times for 215 yards and 2 touchdowns. We always talk about how would you rather get beat by, getting passed on a ton or getting ran on. 100% passing, because if you get ran on for 215 yards, there's nothing more demoralizing and hurtful than just to watch somebody run the ball down your throat. That is
They took the damn air out of the football.
yeah, that's painful. On the other side, Ty Simpson did get hurt. He was only 12 of 16 for 67 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He had an issue going into halftime. Austin Mack came in 11 of 16, 103 yards, no touchdowns, no anything. They ran the ball 17 times for 23 yards as a team. They couldn't do anything. You talk about physicality, and now we're talking about all these topics that are coming around, and the conversation was already going on with the SEC losing all these bowl games. You had A&M lose to Miami in the playoff. Now you're having Alabama lose to Indiana. You had Oklahoma knocked out by Friendly Fire, Georgia knocked out by Friendly Fire. So really, they're looking at Alabama saying, one, people are saying, why did they get in? Right? You have the Notre Dame crowd going crazy again, saying, oh, you see, the same thing. We would have beat this team by a million, whatever. Right? They'd beat everybody by a million, that's just whatever. Crazy Notre Dame fans. Um, but that's the whole thing. It's like, why did Bama get in? They're frauds. That's one of those other things. And then the SEC is not as physical as it once was either, right? People talked about depth that Alabama has. They were going to come in, they were going to dominate this, but Kirk Signetti said that ain't going to happen. And this team, they don't make mistakes, Indiana, and they do the right thing at the right time, and they are always here, right? They never get to here, they never get to here, and they're just always here. And it's just like, they do not shoot themselves in the foot. They don't do anything. They're a super physical team. They hit hard. They run the football really well. And Fernando Mendoza just makes the right plays at the right times, man. And I know I talked about his throwing a little bit earlier in the year, but he can sling the rock, man. He really
Yeah.
can. Yep.
No, to me, I think that was Fernando Mendoza was the biggest factor in the game. I can't remember with the statistic off the top of my head. Alabama blitzed him something like 17 times, I think, and he ate them up. And for me, I think for Alabama to win that game, I was expecting those blitzes to get home or for Fernando to make bad decisions in those situations and panic a little bit and play under pressure and just be uncomfortable the entire game. And that did not happen in the slightest. He was very comfortable, and when he had the slightest bit of uncomfortability, he made the right decisions at the right time. He picked him apart, and to me, that was the biggest factor in the game outside of just getting absolutely bullied on the ground. Um, I was surprised. I mean, I was thoroughly surprised by it. But when you look at Indiana and the way they're constructed and the way Coach Signetti goes and recruits, he doesn't go for freshmen and sophomores in the transfer portal. He goes after the juniors and seniors that have playing experience. And you can see it. When you talk about it on their defense, they fly around. They know what reads to make, when to make them, when to shoot, when not to shoot. Like they fly around at the right times. They're always in the right spot. You said it perfectly. And it's those veteran players that he gets that know what they're doing, that have the experience, that have seen different looks, and they all, when you're picking from all over the country, you have different styles, different experiences, different conferences, some of them in the small conference, some of them in the big conferences. It all comes together. Now, it's easy to say that, they're experienced already and they're seasoned, but what he's able to do as a head coach is also something crazy because it's one thing to get the right guys, it's another thing to get them all on the same page. So
Mm-hmm.
he's the real deal. Good for Indiana to lock him in long term. They're going to be a tough out also. Now, if Fernando Mendoza is going to go out there and play like that every single time he's blitzed, then they might just be holding up the trophy at the end of the year.
Yeah, I've
And
got.
for the Notre Dame fans that are crying about they would have beat everybody by a million, listen, if Alabama lost in the first round in this fashion, great. Say it all you want to. Yeah, you should have been in. Once they're in the second round, shut up. Shut
Well,
up.
and they're saying the same shit about Miami too. Like, oh look what Miami did. Like, and they shouldn't have been in, and we would have done the same thing. You lost to Miami. Get over it. Like, so you lose to Miami, and now you're saying you're better than Miami? Yeah, no way, dude. No way.
Everybody in the second round deserved to be there.
100%. That Alabama or that blitz stat that you had. So Alabama blitz Fernando Mendoza season high 12 times. He was 8 for 8 for 161 yards and 3 touchdowns against 5 or more pass rushers. The first quarterback with 3 touchdowns versus the Alabama blitz like that since Texas A&M's Johnny Manziel in 2013.
Yep.
So, yep. So, very good awareness, being able to get and he didn't have to do a lot of the moving around and shaking like Manziel did, right? He's a very pro style quarterback in his I mean he'll move, he'll scramble a little bit, do the things he does, but he's a very pro style quarterback, knows when to move up and down and side in the pocket and all that, and just makes extremely accurate throws and really good decisions. So um just so everybody knows, I picked Indiana. That was my right one, and I picked them big, and Emilio picked Bama there. So